Now we get to the really fun part, and I do sincerely mean this. You're not going to believe how easy this is going to be to do, of crocheting these together. Now I have stacked my squares from the top to bottom in the order that I picked them up from where I had them laid out, and this is actually the last stack. So I know that I'm going to need to put this square this way and the next square this way, and alternating them back and forth. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is the one that's furthest to the left, and this is the next one in line. So I'm going to put the front sides together, and I'm going to turn. I'm going to keep in mind that the purple is the first one that I'm starting with. Now I've gone down a size in a crochet hook. Instead of using the G, I'm using the F, or 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. Okay, make sure that you do go down a size. And now I'm going to start in that chain 2 corner, and it doesn't matter, you know, which corner you start in. Okay, as long as you have the, you know, the cable going in the correct direction. And so I'm going to bring that up and then just give it a chain. And now I'm going to work a single crochet over that, just like that. And I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now, making sure that the front sides are together, I'm going to pick up this corner and single crochet into that chain 2 corner, chain 2. Now I come back to this side into this loop, and I want to make sure that you don't get really loose tension here. You want to keep your tension as even as possible. Single crochet there, chain 2, and then single crochet in the loop on the other side, chain 2. I told you it was going to be easy. To the next loop, single crochet, chain 2, and to this one, single crochet, chain 2, and go ahead and do that, alternating back and forth. You know, so I'm just going to continue across the row with you here, single crochet, chain 2, and we're going to go all the way to the next 2 corners. Very, very simple, I hope. And it's going to give this design a nice lacy appeal, I believe. It's going to be a nice summery blanket, not too hot and not too cool, just right, and lots of breathability. So now we come to the corner and go to that next chain 2 corner, single crochet, chain 2, and to the last corner right here, single crochet, and we're just going to go ahead and fasten off, give it a tug, and get your scissors, cut a nice little strand there so that you'll be able to hide that. And this is what we have. Isn't that nice? Now, of course, once we finish sewing this together, crocheting this together, I'm going to show you how to just join the edges in a similar fashion. But let me go ahead and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so we know that the purple was the first one, and it is going horizontally, and then now this cable is going vertically, and the next cable is going to go horizontal again. So I'm going to go ahead and again just put the front sides facing together, and then turn and go ahead, and I'm going to join this and get you started on the next one. I like to kind of stick my hook in the hole here, just makes it a little bit easier. Get my little slip knot, get it tight, and go ahead and give it a chain. And now make sure that I have this the correct way. Yep, I do. It doesn't hurt to double check every now and then to make sure that you're putting the colors where you want them. So go ahead and single crochet, chain 2, and then going to the next corner, single crochet, chain 2, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and then do the next side. So you should know what to do at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and do this until I have 7 of these squares in a row, and then I'll have 6 rows of 7, and which will equal 42 squares, of course. And I'm going to go ahead and do all of these so that I have 7. But let me also mention one other thing, that as you're putting these rows across, remember now that like the next row, for example, if this was the next row, make sure that it is going vertically opposite the horizontal of the one previous to that. Okay, so you just want to, you know, just kind of keep an eye out for that, so that we don't make any mistakes or have to do any ripping out or anything like that. But I think overall this is still a pretty flexible design. And there's, like I said, any number of ways to put the colors together. There's no right or wrong in this case. I'll go ahead and finish this, and then I will show you how to connect the rows or the long columns of these squares. I just wanted to give you a look at the row that I just finished. We have a horizontal, a vertical, horizontal, vertical. And I will say I'm really enjoying working with all these different colors. It's very much like candy for my eyes. Okay, so I did finish one, so I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of these. And when we finish, we should have 6 pieces just like this. Now that I have the first 2 rows that I'm going to connect together, this one goes down here, and make sure that all the squares are opposite each other. You know, make sure that, you know, one's this way, this way, this way, this way. Make sure, just give it a quick look just to make sure that it's the way they're supposed to be. That looks good. Never hurts to check twice. Okay, so now I'm going to take the top one and put it down, fronts, you know, both front sides facing. And I do want to remember that this is going to be the corner piece. So, okay, I've got these connected. I don't think there's any reason to have to like actually physically connect these with anything, is because we're going to be working along. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start again in this corner, and I will show you how to get to the center part, but we're going to pretty much do what we did with the smaller squares, but we're just going to do this all the way across. So let's go ahead and get our materials. And go ahead and give this a start. Okay. Go ahead and give that a little chain, just like we did before, and a single crochet in that first. Chain 2, and now I'm going to connect it to the other side, or to the other row of squares. Find that chain 2 corner. Hopefully they're easier to find because they are chain 2 and not a chain 3 as the other loops are. Okay, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to just work our way like we did before. So go ahead and work your way until you get to where these squares connect, and then I'll show you what to do after you work the last one of these loops. Okay, now we've come to the first joining of, I guess, a four squares in this 4 square corner. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to have you work in that same chain 2 corner as in this square, chain 2, and then go to the other chain 2 of the other square, chain 2. Go ahead and skip this join and the join right here. We're not going to use those, but go on over to the other chain 2 corner of the next square, chain 2, and then we're going to go to the next chain 2 corner, which is right here. Make sure that you do that corner. It's the one that's already been used. And then continue on, just like we've been across all these other, you know, alternating this loop, just back and forth. But let me show you from the next one to try to and attempt to be clear. So there are a lot of strings here. I know it's going to be fun hiding all those. But anyway, so when we get to this corner, we're going to use this corner again. It's already been used. And then this corner of the other square. We're going to skip these 2 connectors and then we're going to go right to the next corner and the next corner, and then just alternate all along the way. So I hope that's clear. Just, you don't want to work in these joins that have already been joined. Okay, you don't want to work in those. We only want to work in the loops that are around each of these squares. So go ahead and finish across this row, connecting these two rows, and I will show you what I have. Okay, now that I've connected two of the columns, I'm just giving you a view of what it should look like. Of course, now once we add more columns, rows, whatever, it's going to add weight, and it's going to look certainly better than what you're seeing right here. But this is just gives you a rough idea of what you should have. So I'm going to go ahead and connect all of these rows together, and after we do that, I'll show you what we have, and then we can start the rounds, the perimeter rounds that is going to add the really nice lacy border. Okay, this is what my blanket looks like after crocheting all of these together. It's been a lot of fun doing this. I did want to point something out though. When you're doing this and constructing it, make sure that you use all of the corners as you go across, because I actually crocheted some of these together and had to take them out because I neglected a corner here or there. And but make sure that you're very careful to do that. And as you can see, I have many strands to hide, and I will get to that eventually. This is not blocked, obviously, and I'm going to get ready now to work the perimeter all the way around. Okay, now we're ready to do the perimeter round. Let's go ahead, and we're going to start in any corner of the blanket and go ahead and make a chain. I'm going to go ahead and do a single crochet over that, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then this is what we're going to do all the way around. Single crochet in that next loop, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet in the next loop. I'm going to do these till I get to the section where the join is, just so that I can be very clear about how I want you to do that part. Hope you're enjoying working with all these colors. This has been a lot of fun for me. I'm going to have to try to do more projects like this. Okay, so we're getting near the corner. Let me show you what I want you to do. Just gonna keep on a-going here. Get to the corner of the individual squares. Chain 3. Okay, now there should be a part that's in between the squares here. Go ahead, single crochet there, chain 3, and then you should have another corner here. Chain 3, and single crochet in the next, etc., all the way around. Now when you get to the corner, just to be clear, we're just going to continue this. So you'd single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the corner, chain 3, and then keep on going all the way around the entire perimeter of the blanket. After working this all the way around, we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet of the round, slip stitch. Now we're going to work a slip stitch into that chain 3 space, chain 1, and we're going to work another round. Notice that I'm not turning, I'm working with the front side facing, and we'll work another round with the single crochet, chain 3, and then skip that single crochet in the next chain, single crochet, chain 3, and then single crochet. So go ahead and work this all the way around the perimeter one more time. At the end of round 2, we're going to just join with a slip stitch, just like we did at the end of round 1. And we are almost done. We have 2 more rounds to do. We're going to repeat round 3 one more time. So let's go ahead and let's do a slip stitch into that chain 3 space. Give it a chain 1 and a single crochet, and we're going to do one more round. Chain 3 and then single crochet in each chain 3 space all the way around. So go ahead and finish that all the way around. At the end of round 3, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and join with the slip stitch to that first single crochet, just like we did with the other 2 rounds. And I'll go ahead, slip stitch in to the next chain 3 space, chain 1, and we're going to start the last round with a single crochet. And what I'm going to show you, you're going to do all the way around. In the next chain 3 space, we're going to work 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. So we're going to have this nice shell stitch all the way around. And then the next, we're going to do another 7 double crochets. That's 5, 6, 7, and then single crochet in that next chain 3. So this is what you're going to have all the way around the perimeter of the blanket. After working this all the way around the entire perimeter, we're just going to join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet, and then give it a chain and a little tug, and we're going to go ahead and cut a generous strand and just go ahead and pull it through like that. And I'm going to show you the entire throw in just a moment, but I just really am enjoying the way this is turning out. I really like, I don't know if you can see through the video, but the weight of this particular cotton is just very different than what it would be from a thicker acrylic, and I think is really worth going with the particular type of yarn in this case, which is the Nuturing Fibers Eco Cotton. Although if you have another DK weight cotton, it should be fine, but this is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to hide this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go down, I'm going to go ahead and bring it down into the stitch where I joined actually. Let's go ahead and turn it to the back side. It's always good to hide these on the back side of your work. You're going to have many of these to hide, so you're going to get lots of practice on this. So I'm going to bring this down here, and I'm going to run it through some of the strands here, and then I'm going to run it under this entire set of shells, and this should be plenty of stitches to hide this one strand. Okay. And then we get our scissors, and we're going to pull back on this a little bit. And this is where you need to be very careful that you cut only the strand and not your work. Okay, so one strand is now hidden. Now we have many more to try to hide. And let me go ahead. This is kind of in the middle of the work here. I'm going to show you how I'm trying to hide these. And as I hide these, I'm trying to hide the knots as I go. Let me show you how you can do this. We're going to bring this down into the work under here. Okay. Of course, there are many different ways you can do this as long as you're trying to hide these strands. That's the main goal right now. You want to hide them in such a way that they don't pop out and also that they will not be seen. So I'm actually going to run this under another a few more. I'm going to run it into this double crochet and under these stitches as well. I'll just feel more comfortable with it being hidden under more stitches. That looks better to me, and it's not going to be seen from the other side, and I'm going to clip that very carefully. Okay, so many more strands to hide, and this is one reason why you're going to want to leave a little extra string so that you can run these comfortably under the stitches. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to block this by simply laying it out on my foam blocks. I will even show you how to do that, so that just in case you've never seen this, I'm going to pin it in place. I'm going to spray it down with a little bit of water so that it's damp, and then let it dry, and this will help to set the pattern a little bit better. For those of you who've never seen something blocked, I just wanted to show you a little arrangement here, and I am using these blocking mats that assemble just like that, like floor mats, nice and soft and squishy, lots of foam in which to stick these pins into. And let me show you, I'm using these combs, and I'm going to give you the information for both the mats and the set of combs. It's in the video description below, and these come in quite handy, as you can see, to be very precise about where you want to block this. And I've actually kind of pulled it out a bit, so that now I'm just going to take a spray bottle right here and just simply spray down around the entire blanket. And let me show you, I've also tried to square these up a bit with individual pins. Let me show you. Pins. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on this. Pins like this, these like little T-pins that also come with the set. You're going to need a lot of them. So I've actually tried to square this up. If you've probably noticed that it's not going to be a perfectly square design. I mean, if you know somebody who has extreme OCD and everything has to be lined up perfectly, this is probably not the gift for them. However, I think this is still going to be a very lovely design. It's going to be fun to use. It's going to hang beautifully on the back of a couch. It's going to make a lovely lap blanket if you know somebody confined to a wheelchair. And it's going to be a nice weight for the summer and very breathable. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll show you what it looks like after it's been blocked. Well, I hope you enjoyed making the Bonnie Bay Bonbon blanket with me today. If you did, if you could give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Well, please send me your pictures if you can. You can always reach me at my Facebook page, which is simply at Bonnie Bay Crochet, and or you can send them to me. The link is in the video description below. I would love to see your pictures if you just want to send me an email. And anyway, I'm so glad you joined me. God bless. Bye-bye.